morning, so she may help with the weather.
Let's talk about the weather. About 64 degrees outside. Feels absolutely wonderful. What a beautiful day it's going to be. Yesterday it was nice and breezy, some clouds, but things are going to get a little bit hotter today anyway. High temperatures are going to stick around 89. Sing. And it's going to be a gorgeous day. Hope you can get out by the pool and enjoy. La, 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 la. And the rest of the week, absolutely beautiful. No rain to worry about until possibly Tuesday of next week. All right, guys, it's all yours.
Good to know I've got a replacement. Eventually coming up by the time I'm ready to quit. Jonathan Berryhill up here, Senate, State Senate, Canada, been with us several times. Before I forget it, she's talking about everybody's talking about cooking out and everything this weekend. You got something big coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow at Big Spring Park here in Athens, we're doing a cookout, free food, folks to come out and get to know me, hang out with us. My children, my wife will be there, and a bunch of our campaign folks are there. Free hot dogs, hamburgers there at Big Spring Park. Big Spring Park. Downtown tomorrow at noon? Tomorrow at noon. Caleb cooking? Caleb is cooking. All right, so everybody can be down there. The weather's going to be beautiful, by the way. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about here. What'd you do in the Army? I was an infantryman. I worked with Rangers and Special Forces when I was over in Bosnia, and I became an expert infantryman. I became a sergeant. Was going to actually become a drill sergeant right before I got out, but decided to go ahead and get out of the military because we found out Hannah was pregnant with Mabel. Now, when did you become a police officer? After that? Right after I got out of the Army. You know, as an infantryman, all they teach you to do is shoot a weapon, firearms, stuff like that. And so when I got out of the Army, I immediately got into law enforcement down and around Fayette County, Alabama. Okay. So you were somewhere else. That's right. Basically. Mm-hmm. And then, now when did you walk on at UNA? After that? Well, I ended up here at Athens Police Department and worked up here in Athens and as a police officer. Once I left Athens Police Department, I walked on over there at UNA. At what age? I was 35. 24. 24. So you done all that before you're 24 years old? Right. I bet you was the oldest one on the team, weren't you? Believe it or not, I wasn't the oldest one, but probably one with most experience. I'd been to, combat in the Army and then police officer, worked narcotics and stuff. Well, that'd be easy playing football. Then. Oh, yeah, it was. It was fun. Hey, did you ever, let me ask you, did you ever eat over at Stag's? Stag's? No, I didn't eat over in East Florence. Yeah, they make them famous hamburgers over there and you smell like a burger when you walk out of it. That's right, yeah. One of my favorite places, especially hamburger steak. All right, so what else you got planned next week? What all you got? Next week, we're just going to be out on the ground, just beating the pavement, just out trying to get to know folks, meet folks, get the word out, put out signs, anything and everything we can do to get in front of voters. How do you determine, maybe Caleb, a question for him, but how do you determine where you may be the strongest and where you may be the weakest in the areas that you need to get to? They run polls. Polls is a big thing. I'm sure you guys may have. But being 3 Republican candidates, they are running polls about every other week. Someone is. And so that's what we do. We look at the polls and show where we need to be working. And so you just might drive through Madison County now, right? Yeah, we might just and just do this. Yeah. All right, tell me about the poll yesterday. We got that information yesterday. A straw poll was conducted by the Madison County Young Republican. That's right. The straw poll was held in Berryhill. We came out 70% in that. Now, ain't that kind of unheard of? 70%? That's pretty good. How big a deal is that, Caleb? Good. Well, I know it's good. I mean, I can figure that out. But ain't that... Yeah, it is. Real good, right? Real good. Yeah. We're strong. Kind of shocking. We're strong in Madison. That's where my business is in Huntsville. I've worked there for the past, since '04, since I left college football. But also, that's kind of you've got Lauderdale, Limestone, Madison. Kind of in that order, too, isn't it? Right. Mm-hmm. And so, that's good if we can pull that kind of... How do you explain the negativity toward... Well, we need somebody from Athens as a state senator to represent us. And that's the biggest thing you hear. Right, yeah. You're not from Athens. Right. I'm not from Athens. We've lived here in Athens for 12 years. I still have my place out here right off Nick Davis Road. But, I would not look at, hey, we need somebody from this area because he or she may not be the person that can do the better job, has the better experience, and
creating business and growth and stuff like that. But it's not all about where they're
what
from.
you're saying, basically, there's little to that argument.
Oh yeah, there's very little.
You've got the mayor coming out, and you've got Representative Dan Williams coming out in support of an opponent of yours because he lives in Athens.
That's right, and that's unheard of. A House representative isn't supposed to be doing that. I've been told, I got a few calls from quite a few House representatives around and apologized for him doing that because they said he's not supposed to be doing that. So,
well, Dan make no bones about it though.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
Right, and so. We just have. He just
you
have to
tell you where he lives.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to. He just have to live with that decision. But other than that, I would not look at that. I would look at who's going to serve you well, and me being in the military and creating businesses personally and jobs throughout this district. I feel that I'm the best candidate for.
Has anybody said you may be too young for this position?
I have not. Besides down at, I get that. I've been asked a couple of times when I was down in Montgomery, son, are you old enough to run? And I'd say, yes, sir. I give them my palm card that has my 6 children on there, and they kind of double take, look at it, and go, good gracious. So
how many more kids you going to have?
I think we're going to hold off on 6 right now.
You're not going to give the Duggars a run for their money out of Arkansas?
We are not going to give the Duggars a run for their money.
Well, they got 19, 20?
Something like that, 20 or 21.
Yeah. It keeps moving on up.
Yeah.
All right, so now you're just going out door to door trying to let people know really who John, and who, I've asked you this before and I'll ask you again. You'll be with us on Tuesday, Election Day, too, on the 3rd. Mm-hmm. Who is Jonathan Berryhill? What do they need to know about you?
Yeah, honest family man that loves the Lord. That's the biggest thing I'd like for anybody to know about me. My kids, I had a pastor say one day during a sermon, he said, when your kids are asked who's the most godliest man they know, if you're not in the top 3, then you need to be soul searching. So I try to hold up to that reputation. That's the main thing. And that's going back to not picking someone in the Athens area. Don't put politics before God.
All right. As Dusty was preaching Sunday down at Lindsay Lane, he mentioned the homeschool program. Mm-hmm. You are involved.
Lindsay Lane,
the guy that owns the truck is a Lindsay Lane member. I am, Gloria is, Joseph is. You are involved with Lindsay Lane.
We are. We're involved with our homeschool program. I'm actually going to be, that's one of the, actually there's 2 things with Lindsay Lane, the homeschool program and the Lindsay Lane Christian Academy. We're actually donating money, is it tomorrow, Caleb, to their program out of our campaign. They're 2 of the programs that I personally
What better way to get associated with Athens is the biggest church in town.
Well, that's right. Well, we've been part of Lindsay Lane Homeschool Co-op about since they started it up.
Good.
My wife has been.
All right, again, let's talk about tomorrow. It's going to be awful hot down there. Caleb will be fanning everybody who shows up down that way tomorrow and cooking for them. So, again, at noon.
At noon, Big Springs Park, cooking hamburgers, hot dogs. We'll have drinks, chips. Caleb, anything else?
We'll take anything else before the end of the show. We'll get it on. We'll go outside in just a minute. Look at this truck out there.
Okay.
All right, Jonathan Berryhill, super guy. Remember him on the 3rd. He'll be with us on the day of the election, too, on Tuesday. Don't forget, next week you'll see their ads in the rodeo also, sponsored by Arctic Chill, AAA, and Herbs and More. Rodeo will start running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like I say, y'all will know the rodeo well by the time that thing runs in all the replays, too, next week. And go by and visit there. But right now, we'll take a break, come back. We'll go outside with Joseph. Y'all hang on.